guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. And today is my Q&A video, and I'm sorry it's kind of delayed. I meant to do this a little sooner than this, right around when I did my Moonie Fan Project, and I hope you guys all watched it and I hope you guys liked it. I worked really hard on it, but I want to do my Q&A because I don't want to wait too much longer, and I got a pretty good list of questions that people have sent me, and I'm really impressed by that. So thank you for sending in questions. So we'll just go ahead and get started and go right through these. First question: what was Eric's first reaction when he learned about your collection obsession with Sailor Moon? Probably, I think he was okay with it. He was kind of surprised by all the things that I had, obviously, but I didn't have as much stuff then when we got together as I do now, but he really liked it. He liked my dedication to it. He used to have a Dragon Ball collection. He had somewhat of a collection when we got together. Now it's a little bigger as well. But I think my collection really influenced his, and that's why he's become the collector he is now, which is really funny. He's got quite a nice collection, and I hope eventually we can get together and make a video about it so you guys can see. Next question: can you give your followers some advice how to display a collection in a room, how you maintain it, how you keep it clean? Well, I don't really I guess you guys can kind of see from my videos and stuff how I kind of decorate everything. If you have any specific questions about that, I could probably give you some pointers in if you send me a message or whatever. I keep it clean. Basically, I dust, and I have an air purifier system that I put in here while I do that, so it sucks up some of the dust and stuff. And I just try to keep everything pretty maintained, vacuuming, all that fun stuff. But it really doesn't get too dirty in here because it's a very small room and I don't have a lot of traffic coming through. Not like Eric's collection. We've had to totally tear down his collection before, dust everything, dust the shelves, and then put everything back up. I don't have to worry about that too much in my room. I check it very often and it never gets really dusty, even though it's been up for quite a while. Next question: when did you discover Sailor Moon and what impact has it had on your life? I first saw Sailor Moon, it was like a Saturday morning type deal when I was really little. I think I was around 10 or 11, something like that, and I was flipping through channels and I came across it really early in the morning and I checked it out, and I really liked the art style of it. It wasn't like a goofy Nickelodeon type cartoon that I also enjoy, but it was something totally different. And I thought it was really cool that they were all female and they were all strong characters and they all had their own personality, hobbies, such. I really liked that. And of course I really liked Serena, is what she was called in the English dub. She was my favorite because she was the most like me at the time. And it really influenced pretty much how I think about girls and how impacted they are now than they used to be with being stronger. And they don't have to be married, they can have jobs, they can have all these big influences in their life to reflect how they are as an adult, and I think that's really important. So yeah, it's basically a little bit of how it's influenced me, but it's definitely been a big impact in my life, obviously. Are you married? If so, how long? Yes, I am married. I've been married since 2011. My question is, when did you start collecting Sailor Moon stuff, and where do you find room to put everything? I first started collecting when I first really got into the show, which is back in the early 90s or late 90s, somewhere around there. First thing I ever collected, I made a video about. That's probably, I think, my first video I ever made on YouTube. But it was a Sailor Moon doll. It was like a 6-inch Sailor Moon doll. It was one of the blue box ones. I still have her up there. But it was the first thing I ever started collecting, was some of the dolls, and I had one of the wands. Where do I put everything? Wherever I can find a spot, pretty much. I have sold a few things that I really didn't need to get other things, but I'm not really like gaining any extra space from doing that. I'm just replacing some things, putting something in another spot. So I don't know. I just try to make it fit and rearrange stuff, and I try to make it look as nice as possible without looking cluttered. Which is your favorite game and each Nintendo console from NES to Wii U? Um, that's really tough. I like the Zelda series. Like, I'm a really big Zelda fan. For NES, I would have to say that it was probably one of the Mario games, though, because I was the best at it. I think I was the best at Mario 2 growing up. Like, I could beat that really easily, Mario 2, so I ended up playing it the most. Super Nintendo, I would definitely say that it would be Yoshi's Island. I played Yoshi's Island like crazy. I didn't even own the game. I was borrowing it from a friend. Now I own it, but at the time when I was little, I'd borrow it from her, and I'd have it for like weeks because I'd be playing through it. Um, let's see, N64, definitely Ocarina of Time, the Legend of Zelda game. That one was like a big influence for me to get into the Zelda franchise. I played that one a lot. GameCube, um, I'd probably say Mario Party. It'd probably be Mario Party and Wind Waker, because I had a lot of friends at the time. We'd be playing Mario Party all the time, and I played it a lot on the N64, but I think I played it even more on the GameCube, something like that. But Wind Waker definitely is a close competitor in that lineup, because I played that one a lot as well. And let's see, Wii, I'm going to say Twilight Princess. It was the first game that I got for the Wii. I played it before the GameCube version came out, and I sat through it and played through it in like a week or two. It was really fun. And then Wii U, I'm not real sure. I haven't really sat down and really played through my Wii U games, even though I have a lot of them. I say that like the most game I've been playing on the Wii U is probably Mario Kart, because that version is really awesome. I always loved playing all the older versions of Mario Kart, but that one's definitely probably the best that I've played. Even though they took away the balloon fight part of it, which was probably like the biggest part of competitions on there other than racing. Next question. Where online do you buy most of your Sailor Moon stuff, other than eBay? I use AmiAmi a lot, Mandrake for some stuff that is like exclusive that you can't find at normal stores. I bought from Big Bad Toy Store before, not very often though, a couple of times. J-List I used to buy from a lot, but then I kind of stopped buying from them just because of the slowness in shipping. Crunchyroll I've been buying a lot from, even though I have issues with them sometimes. I still buy from them because petite chars are decently priced, and sometimes they have those daily deals. Even though they take forever to ship stuff, I still buy from them, plus I have a membership, so. That's all I can really think of right now, but I do try to shop around. I don't really stick with one place. I try to find whatever's the cheapest and best deal, so. Which Magical Girl anime is your second favorite? Obviously, Sailor Moon is number one. Yeah, Sailor Moon is definitely number one. Number two, I really like Wedding Peach. It's an old one as well, and it's kind of like faded in obscurity. I like Wedding Peach. I also like Utena. Let's see. Magic Knight Ray Earth is up there. I don't really know which one would be my second. I think Magic Knight Ray Earth would probably be my second, because I've seen it the most. What's your favorite item in your Sailor Moon collection? It would be this. I think I moved her. Yeah, she's over there now. It would be my, I think it was Bandai released or Irwin released, Canadian singing and talking Luna. I made a early video about her, because that was one of the very first videos that I made of favorite Sailor Moon items, and that one was in it. But she was broken when I bought her, and Eric was able to fix her. and it was awesome because now she moves and talks and stuff all together. But yeah, she's probably my favorite just because she was one of my favorites at the beginning of collecting. So that just kind of sticks with me. So I just keep her as my favorite. Even though I have so many really cool items that I now really love, she would definitely have to be my favorite. What is your favorite movie from Sailor Moon? Mine is Hearts and Ice. I think Sailor Moon R would be my favorite. I really liked at the end where she turned into Princess Randy and Prince Endymion came over and all the like inners were in the background and stuff and the music was playing. That was really, really cool for me when I first saw it. How many pets do you have? What are their names? Well, I have 4 pets. Probably going on 5 here soon. But I have a dog, Tojo. He's a Chihuahua. I have a black cat. His name is Luna, even though when I got him as a kitten, I thought he was a girl, so I named him Luna, and that's just kind of stuck. I also have another cat. He's an orange cat. He was a stray that just kind of showed up at the door, and I've been taking care of him since then. His name is Renji. Then I have a bunny that I got at the pet store, and her name is Bun Buns. And yeah, I'll put it in a little clip so you guys can see. Here's Range. Hi, Range. And this is Tojo. Here, Tojo. Here. Tojo. Come here. Silly. It's like, where's the food at? And here's Luna. Hey. Kitty, 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 kitty. Yep, I'm trying to record you. I know you're not interested. Kitty, 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 kitty. You don't even care. And lastly, we have Bun Bun. Hey, Bun Bun. I'm trying to film you. I know you don't like it. How did you first find it funding your collection and hobby? Did you find yourself giving up some luxuries, and has it been pretty budget accessible? Well, at first it wasn't too bad. Like, I just save some money, buy something, save some money, buy something. Now that the newer merchandise has come out, I've actually tried to, you know, use other tactics to save money and get the things that I want. I really have to push back a lot of other things to get some other more important items. I've definitely not been buying Sailor Moon stuff as much as I used to because of it being so expensive, and a lot of it's really hard to get, Japan only. So I have to budget out the shipping and like import fees or whatever you find like that. But basically, I would say it's not too hard. If you have a goal in mind and you have an item in mind that you really, really want, shoot for that one. Don't try to like, oh, if there's something else that you kind of like over here and you want to spend money on it, just don't. Just wait until you get that one item that you really want. That would be my best advice. Next question, who's your favorite singer? Favorite type of music to listen to? Well, they just sent a bunch of questions, so I'll answer the first one. Who's your favorite singer? My favorite singer would be Celine Dion. She was my favorite growing up, and I think I've bought every one of her albums since I first got into listening to her music way, way back in the early 90s. So, she would be my favorite singer. Favorite type of music to listen to? I guess pop music. Listen to it the most. Whatever's really popular, I usually get into because it's popular for a reason. Your biggest fear? I don't really like to talk about my biggest fears too much. That's kind of stuff you gotta keep to yourself. Your biggest regret? Well, everybody has really big regrets. It's life. We make mistakes and stuff. I try to make up for my mistakes, and I always try to apologize for them if I know that it was me that did it. I don't know. Everybody has regrets. I don't really like to like talk too much about personal stuff though. Can you name something about yourself most people might find shocking or unexpected? Um, One of my biggest hobbies is sleeping whenever I can. I I like to take naps. That's definitely, if I get any time to do that, I definitely try to do that. Um, I guess that's not really shocking or maybe unexpected. I really don't know exactly what to say for that, but I know most people probably don't try to sleep as much as I do. Do you feel that Sailor Moon can win a battle with any other superhero? X-Men, Superman, etc. This has been a much debated question and interested to know your opinion. Well, I always thought it would be really cool to see her fight like Superman or something. Um, People always put Superman and Goku together, and I think it would be cool to see Sailor Moon and Superman fight each other. Who wouldn't? Superman's my favorite DC comic book character. I don't know about Marvel. I guess Iron Man, because I really like Iron Man. I have a lot of personal traits that connect with Iron Man a little bit. He's kind of like an outcast a little bit, and I kind of like that about him. But that would be really cool. Do you like cats or dogs better? If you had to choose one Sailor Moon character to get rid of, and who it would be and why. I guess I would like dogs better, even though I like them both. Just because dogs are always happy to see you, and cats are just want to be fed. If you had to choose one character to get rid of, that's kind of tough. I can't really think of one. I'd probably, if I had to choose, I'd probably pick Zoisite. He was the most annoying in the early English dub with that laugh and everything. But yeah, Zoisite always kind of got under my skin a little bit. Yeah, I would definitely have to pick Zoisite. Out of all the video game consoles throughout history, what is your favorite? Probably the Super Nintendo. I found myself playing the Super Nintendo constantly growing up. I had not a very big library, but I would always be going to friends' houses, borrowing their games. We'd be trading games and stuff. And definitely the Super Nintendo. N64 I played a lot as well, but at that time I was in high school, so I didn't really get to play it as much like I did Super Nintendo. So yeah, I would definitely have to pick Super Nintendo. Not sure if you have mentioned this before, but who is your favorite inner and outer scout? My favorite inner is Sailor Moon, and my favorite outer is Sailor Pluto. What is your favorite Sailor Moon season? Sailor Moon S, definitely. If you could live either on the Moon Kingdom or Crystal Tokyo, which would you prefer living in? Definitely the Moon Kingdom. That would be cool, even though it's a smaller, like, planet, I guess. I'll call it a planet to just describe what I'm trying to say. But it's really pretty, and it would be nice to see like the stars and stuff, and the Earth in the background versus what we already live on Earth and what we already see. Even though Crystal Tokyo is pretty as well. What is your all-time favorite Sailor Moon item you have in your collection? I did answer that one. That was the talking and singing Luna. Which one are you most proud of, and who is your favorite scout? Most proud of probably my Starlock, the original 90s one, because I wanted one for so many years and I finally got one. Even though it's a little beat up and stuff, I'm really like happy that I finally got one. And my favorite scout is Sailor Moon. Which is your favorite 90s anime filler storyline in Sailor Moon? Definitely the Doom Tree series. I know it's different in the Japanese, but I liked it a lot because I liked the characters, the villains in it. I liked the storyline. I thought there was a lot of funny moments in it. I think that it's one of the best filler storylines in Sailor Moon, even though there's like tons of filler, especially in Supers. But yeah, I think that's definitely my favorite. What is your first anime you've ever really enjoyed and started collecting for? Sailor Moon. And what is your favorite character from the first anime? Sailor Moon. Which character do you think is the most like you? Well, Sailor Moon was when I was younger. I think I'm more like Sailor Pluto now. Have any of your pets eaten any of your collectibles? If so, what did you do? Were you sad? Yes, I have. When I got my first dog, he chewed up some of my plushes. That was kind of sad, but I didn't really get upset about it too much. And my cat, Luna, that I have now, he's chewed up some of my dolls, like some of my really old dolls that I've actually had to replace. That kind of upset me, but it's not something that I can't replace, so I'm not too upset about it. Mostly he likes chewing up my iPhone charge cords, which cost me like 20 bucks each, so that kind of makes me mad. And how do you find the confidence to be you? I guess as terms of a giant Sailor Moon collector, I just do whatever I enjoy doing. I mean, I think that's mainly what everybody should do. Just do what you want to do, you know? Of course, if it's not hurting anybody. Let me put a little disclaimer at the bottom of that, but I like the stuff that I like. I can't change myself to reflect some needs of others. That's just not how you should live your life. But, just do whatever you feel is right in your heart. Collect the things you want to collect. Do what you want to do. That's mainly how you should do things. My question is, how do you budget for your collection? Well, I kind of answered that earlier. What conventions do you regularly attend? I go to Otakon and Katsucon the most now that I live in Virginia. I have ventured out of state to other conventions. When I lived in Florida, I went to MegaCon and SuperCon a lot. But those ones are probably the main ones I could think of. This person sent in like a few questions. What is it about Disney Frozen that draws you into it so much? I think it's just, it was the first really magical one for me. Like, I've always been like a Disney fan, but when Elsa made her castle grow and she built it in the movie and stuff, it was really cool to see. And I really liked the connection between the two sisters, and that they were two main characters in the story that had struggles and problems that they had to work on. I just really was drawn into the story of it, so I really look forward to seeing the next movie for it as well. Your husband collects and enjoys Dragon Ball Z. Do you like Dragon Ball Z as well, and any non-magical girl anime? I do. I've been watching Dragon Ball Z with my husband recently. I've been catching up on it. I did watch a little bit of it growing up, but I never really got into it as much. I was into really girly things at the time, so I never really expanded upon it much. Non-magical girl, I think my favorite would probably be Fujugi Yugi. If you haven't seen it, haven't read the manga, I definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorites. What is your least favorite Sailor Senshi and least favorite season? Least favorite, I hate like talking about my least favorite of anything, but I've never really liked Sailor Uranus that much. And Neptune's kind of a second least. It's just because of like how they were distant from the original characters, and how they kind of treated them at first. And then they kind of just wanted to do their own thing, even though they were trying to be a team toward like in stars and stuff. So I never really connected with them as characters. And my least favorite season, that one's really tough. I don't really dislike any of the seasons. I'd probably say Supers, and I hate saying that because Supers is awesome, but it was so far from the original material that was the reason why I'm picking that one. But really, I don't really dislike any of the seasons. I think they're all really good. Do you think that we're going to get the Dream and Star arc in Sailor Moon Crystal? Definitely. Definitely, I think we will eventually. They're going to take their time on it, obviously. It might switch some directors. the voices might all stay, but I do think they're going to continue on with it because I think it's doing really well. I think it's doing better now than it did the first 2 seasons, so why not? How long have you been collecting Sailor Moon merch, and what is the best way to display figures? Well, I started collecting in the early to middle 90s, somewhere around there. And what is the best way to display figures? Best way for me is just kind of find a spot and put them there. I try to keep figures together in the same kind of areas. And if you have display cases, those work really well. I know display cases are kind of expensive to collect and to put with your figures, but it really helps keeping the dust off them. What pet do you love the most? Well, I love them all, but I think I would have to pick my dog, but don't tell the cats. And this one's another multi-question one. What was your first Sailor Moon toy that you got? And I did answer that one. If you could only save 3 of your Sailor Moon collectibles, which would it be? That one's really tough. Probably the Star Locket, my Talking Luna, and I don't know, that one's so tough. Like, I have a lot of, like, really, like, there's some emotional attachment to them, and then other ones are just, like, really expensive that I wouldn't want to lose. So that one's definitely tough. Yeah, that would definitely be a tough question for me to answer. Definitely the Star Locket, though. I don't want to lose that one. Which Sailor Moon character do you wish there was more merchandise of? Definitely Prince Endymion. I've been, like, trying to reach out to companies and say, hey, I want a Prince Endymion and such and such. I really want a plush of him, and I'm hoping G Animation actually makes one, so here's hoping. Which Sailor Moon collectible was the hardest to find? None of them is really hard to find, at least the ones that I'm interested in personally. I know there's some out there, but you can find them. They're just really, really expensive. I would say like the lip rods, the original lip rods for the outers are probably the most hardest to find. They come and go, you see them, but they're always like really expensive in like $800 to $1,000 range. So if you want those, you really have to have some money to put down. Do you have a favorite Sailor Moon episode or movie? My favorite episode? I think it's when Sailor Moon first transforms into Princess Serenity. That was probably my favorite. And favorite movie is definitely R. What was your first collection item ever? And I answered that one. And what is your first inspiration reason to start collecting? I liked all the awesome things that were coming out. I liked the dolls, the wands. I thought they were really cool to have. I'd say the wands I wanted the most. Any of the transformation compacts or anything like that, because it was kind of like owning something from the show. So that was my main reason to start collecting those. And I really like dolls, so I figured I'd get dolls of all the characters as well. What is your favorite episode of Sailor Moon? And I did answer that one. That one's the, I don't remember the name of it though, but it's the where she transforms into Princess Serenity. And here is the very last question. How do you keep your collection clean? And I did answer that, but one other thing that I thought of later on after I answered that one is the cans of air are always really good to use, especially on figures that have those fine details that you can't clean the dust out very easily. Cans of air work really good as long as you catch the dust early on and don't let it sit there for a while. But thank you guys so much for sending me all your questions. I hope this video doesn't end up being like super long and uninteresting, but thanks a lot for sending in your questions. I hope to have another one of these later on down the road. I'm not sure. But thanks for watching as always, and thanks for being a subscriber and follower. I'm always very appreciative of each and every one of you. So thanks again, and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye.